During a tense live meeting broadcast on May 6, 2025, President Donald Trump reignited his controversial rhetoric by hinting that Canada becomes the 51st state. However, the new Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney let the president know exactly how Canada feels about that idea. The recent meeting between President Donald Trump and Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney became a flashpoint for international headlines after Trump once again floated the idea of Canada becoming the 51st state of the United States. The exchange, broadcasted live, was marked by a mix of pointed humor and serious diplomatic undertones, with Carney firmly rejecting any suggestion that Canada's sovereignty was negotiable. During the meeting, President Trump made light of the border between the two countries, referring to it as an artificially drawn line. Talking about how he is a real estate developer at heart, President Trump suggested that getting rid of that artificial line would restore the view of that area and make it what it was meant to be, which he can see as an artistic person. He suggested that a closer union would be a wonderful marriage because they get along very well and like each other a lot. Trump continued to needle Carney with jabs about annexation, but the Canadian leader was quick to respond. Carney stated unequivocally, "Canada is not for sale, won't be for sale, ever." He emphasized that while the two nations share a close partnership, Canadian independence is not up for negotiation. The tone of the meeting shifted as the leaders discussed ongoing trade tensions with a special focus on U.S. tariffs on Canadian steel and automobiles. Carney used the moment to underscore the importance of mutual respect and fair dealing, saying, "We are the largest client of the United States, we have a tremendous auto sector between the two of us, and the changes that may have been helpful. You know, 50% of a car that comes from Canada is American. That's not like anywhere else in the world." Trump, for his part, maintained his stance on tariffs, reiterating that we put tariffs on cars from Canada, and at a certain point it won't make economic sense for Canada to build those cars, a comment that highlighted the ongoing friction between the two allies. While repeating his claim that the US subsidizes Canada by $200 billion a year, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney appeared to maybe want to speak on that claim. However, the meeting seemingly had run out of time and President Trump concluded the live portion. Despite Trump's repeated jabs and assertions before the meeting between the world leaders that the US doesn't need Canada's cars, they don't need their lumber, they don't need their energy, Carney stood his ground in the meeting, emphasizing that Canada's independence is not up for discussion. The exchange underscored the growing friction between the two leaders, with Carney managing to get his message across despite being occasionally interrupted by President Trump during this meeting. Observers noted that Carney's firm response to Trump's annexation talk resonated strongly with Canadians, reinforcing national pride and the country's commitment to sovereignty. The Prime Minister's stance was widely seen as a political win domestically, especially after Trump's repeated suggestions of annexation had already galvanized support for Carney's party in recent election. As Carney put it during the live exchange, "As you know from real estate, there are some places that are never for sale." The meeting concluded without any major breakthroughs on trade or tariffs, but it left no doubt about Canada's position on its independence. Carney's clear and public rebuke serves as a reminder that despite close economic ties and shared values, Canada's sovereignty is not a bargaining chip, even in the face of persistent prompting from its southern neighbor. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments section, and thanks for watching. Bye!